Sky Squad, we are back in the building for the Belle Collective Season 2, Episode 3 review. Love, marriage, and no baby carriage, baby. And listen, we doing this review on a good Sunday. Yesterday, I had a community event to host in downtown DC, okay? For the DC Wave Fest. I was out there from about 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we had a good old time and we got a lot of good health and wellness and all that kind of information distributed to the people. Okay, so be sure to follow DC Wave Fest on Instagram and Blackberry Acres on Instagram as well. Now, with that being said, Sky Squad, we back up in this Ponderosa on this good Sunday morning, baby, Sunday morning. And if you just got out of church, amen to you. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining the Ponderosa today. Okay. And also let us know where you're watching from in the chatterization as you come on into the room. Also, two other housekeeping items. The texting community, we will be getting another texting community up and running as soon as I have some time to finish vetting through these different companies and what they offer so that we can make sure that we have our texting community for the duration of our lives. Okay. Other housekeeping items. Listen, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure you guys are following me on the Instagram at DJRichieSkye. Follow me on my personal channel as well, where we talk about motivation, travel, all that good stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to do this sort of daily motivational series for people who are interested, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys that information as soon as you guys came up into this good room, okay? With that being said, let's stage dive on into the review. I see we got Mississippi's in the building, baby. Hey, Chicago, Dallas. I see you, Philly. Come on through. Tennessee. Hey, Dallas, I see you. Hey, boo, hey, boo, hey, boo. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Listen here, Linda. Okay. I'm going to have to give this episode a 10. I'm going to have to go on and give it a 10. I'm going to have to go on and give it a 10. Hey, Jackson, Mississippi in the building. Okay, I see you, Landover down the street. Fun fact, I used to live in Landover. Stanford, Connecticut, Maryland, I see you. Let me tell y'all why I give it a 10. I give it a 10. Aisha, Miss Aisha, boo. Okay, I see you in the building. I give it a 10 because to me, this episode gave me everything that I love in a reality TV show ensemble cast format. We got the finale of a big altercation at the brunch, okay, which this show is known for. You know, we got a lot of tears, real tears, you know what I'm saying? I think there was a producer that showed up into the scene at one point. I'm not sure. So, you know, I love some behind the scenes chaos. All right. Hey, Philly Diva. Okay. We also got some very heartfelt moments from Marie and Latrice as well. Okay. Y'all know I also love a sit down ponderosa, okay, between two cast members at a restaurant. The one-on-one ponderosa, okay, that turns into a shade fest is always good for TV, okay, baby. And Aikisha and Latesha did not disappoint in this one-on-one ponderosa. This shade fest, okay, it gave what it needed to give. So I don't know. To me, this episode was a win all around. I was excited about it. You know, the scenes lasted the appropriate amount of time. What I love that they do on a lot of the shows on OWN, specifically the ones that I know that Carlos King produces, is where in other shows will end a scene at a point where it's very, in my mind, predictable. Okay, normally this scene would end right here. They will continue on with the scene until absolutely everything is said that needs to be said about the topic at hand. And so I really appreciate that. So you don't end up with an episode with 10 scenes of, you know, just a lot of stuff happening. You end up with, you know, 5 or 6 very meaty, very dialogue heavy, very experience heavy scenes that actually mean something to not only the character, but also informs the viewer a bit more about that person's personality and what they're actually going through. So that to me is why I give it a 10. Okay. Now, we're actually going to talk to Miss Aikisha this week. So be on the lookout for that as well. And I think you guys are going to find that Aikisha is actually very, very entertaining and very, very knowledgeable. And we're going to give you some tea that if you did not know about Miss Aikisha, you're going to also find very, very interesting. So just stick around and wait until we get to that conversation. Okay. I can't wait for that. Meanwhile, let's get into the episode. Okay. So we last week we ended with the brunch and Latesha and Marie going ham in the men's room. Okay, down to the men's room. That's where the arguments dwell. Okay, down to the men's room, going at it. Okay, so Latesha then wants Latrice to come do her this once in a lifetime favor and go talk to Miss Marie in the men's room. Okay. Meanwhile, Aikisha is screaming how she would never come to another one of these ghetto brunches again. Okay. Latesha then tells Marie, she brings Latrice back. Okay. Latesha says, listen, Latrice, as we discussed in our video with Latrice, okay, Latrice was not associated with whatever rumors was being put out about Marie and her business, okay? She knows the person, but was not in association with trying to take Marie's business down, okay? But for Marie, she ain't really trying to hear nothing. So even as Latrice tells her that she has no motive to try to destroy this woman's business, Marie isn't having it and accuses Latrice of trying to destroy her, okay? Not admitting to what she did. And she accuses Latesha of backpedaling for some reason. Now, I don't know. I can't even recall what the backpedaling was about. But Latesha and Marie continue to argue outside the men's room because they have left the men's room, left Latrice in there, okay? And Latesha doesn't understand why Marie couldn't just stay in the men's room. And Marie feels like Latrice needs to own her part in whatever shenanigans was going on to try to take down her business. Now, if you guys go back to my interview with Latrice, you will understand the dynamics of this whole situation that is going on with the allegations of someone trying to destroy Marie's business allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. Someone says I'm muted and they can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? I feel like the rest of you, maybe you need to turn the volume up, Miss Lindsay. Because we don't want you to miss a single second of it. So turn up the volume. Can somebody turn up the volume for her? Because I don't want her to miss not a single little bit of it. You know, we still talking about the argument in the men's room, and Miss Lindsay needs to hear it. Okay. Okay, good. Y'all can hear me. All right. Can somebody write in the chat? Turn up the volume, Miss Lindsay. Okay. If y'all could write that out, just let her know. Okay. Because we want her to hear. Meanwhile, Latesha just wants whatever needs to be said so that Marie can get over this situation. I feel like Latesha just is like grasping at straws at this point, even to the point where she's like, well, okay, if Latrice admits whatever, will you just be okay or whatever? But as you guys know from my interview with Latrice, she's not going to admit to something that she says that she had no part in. Okay. She had no part in. All right. Thank you, Chef Don. I appreciate you. Yes. Thank you, Christoph. Thank you. Appreciate you as well. Thank you. Okay. Lindsay got it, y'all. Lindsay is fine. She got it. It was her. We back. We back on good. Thank you. Yes. See, Miss Lindsay, we ain't gonna let you down over here. Okay. No, we not. Okay, so anyway, now Marie feels like Latrice just ain't gonna own whatever it is, and she feels like people make her out to be. Marie feels like people make her out to be the villain because she stands 10 toes down in whatever she thinks and whatever she feels. So she heading out. As Marie and Essie leaves, Essie tells her that she done ruined another brunch. Okay, you the girl. You done. I told you not to come up in here and ruin these people brunch. All right. So meanwhile, Aikisha then left. All right, she left. She exited stage left. Latesha is in tears in the bathroom. Okay, because she just don't understand how these people keep ruining her brunches, baby. Like this woman can't have not one single brunch and the stuff not jumps off. All right. I mean, quiet as it's kept, Latesha, in the reality TV space, the fact that they keep going off at your brunches is really a good thing because it keeps showing the brunch. All right. That's how your brunch get featured on the show. The people go off at the brunch. You know what I'm saying? The brunch, if the brunch turns into a brawl, it's good TV for us. But for her, she's distraught, dismayed, disturbed, destroyed, disrupted. Okay. She is hurt. All right. She is hurt. And I think she ends up crying to a producer. And now she's got to also deal with Aikisha's bougie behind judging her every move. Meanwhile, Aikisha, who knows the owners of the facility, is on the phone with Melanie screaming about how she wasted her time with the Palahatchee posse. Okay. So Latesha comes back and everybody realizes that she's been crying in the bathroom, in the men's room. And they tell her, the Palahatchee posse, they tell her that Aikisha called the brunch all types of ghetto before she left. So Latesha is ready to confront Aikisha over all of her negative commentary over the brunch. And she's going to have to redefine who her VIP list is because Miss Marie done ruined another brunch. Okay. So they end the brunch with her favorite affirmation: life is happening for me and not to me. Okay. All right. So it's another day. All right. It's another day in the Jackson. And Latrice and Cliff wants to welcome Soguchi, okay, the new Belle and her husband JJ out to their properties to do some ATV riding. Now, I must confess, when I talked to Latrice last week about, this idea of, they purchase land and things, I wasn't quite sure the extent to which she was talking about purchasing land. But when I saw it, baby, I said, oh, this is what you mean. Okay, let's buy some land, folks. Let's buy some land and put some event spaces on it so we can take our friends out to the ATV riding and get them dirty with some mud, because that's exactly what they do with Cliff, with JJ and Miss Soguchi. Okay. So they head inside after everybody gets dirty and messy. I don't like to ride ATVs and things like that where you're going to splash me around with mud and things like that. And I got the possibility of falling off because it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I don't want mud in my mouth. All right. I don't want no mud in my mouth or in my eyes. So I'm not trying to do all that. All right. Meanwhile, they get back inside, discuss the brunch and how bougie Aikisha is. They discuss the bad energy in the room and how Marie wanted to fight, okay? But Latrice says she knew better, okay? She knew better. Latrice feels like she has tried to talk to Marie and Marie is not trying to hear it. And however Marie feels about her is her business and not Latrice's, okay? And that's how I genuinely feel about people that do not like you. If somebody does not like you, you don't have to participate in that. Y'all know what I'm saying? Somebody not liking you is really not your business. And it's not your problem. That's their problem. Okay. So when you think about people that's in your life or somebody tell you, well, so-and-so don't like you, that sounds like a personal problem to me, baby, because you not liking me does not pay my bills. Okay. It does not make it's not gonna take me on vacation. You know what I'm saying? it really is your problem, and you should seek some counseling for it, okay? Because I don't have time to deal with it. That's how I feel about it. All right. Anyway, so they talk about, so Gucci mentions that they have a blended family, and she talks about the healing process with Marie, and then suddenly the conversation turns to baby talk, and Latrice feels like a baby would slow her down, and she admits that she's afraid. Okay, and we're gonna get more into this about why she's afraid in just a little bit, but before we do that, we got to stop by Mama Nature's Juice Bar because Tambra is meeting up with Aikisha to recap the brunch. Now, for those of you guys who may be a little bit new to the show this season, Aikisha and Tambra, I think they went to high school together or whatever. Aikisha's still disturbed by this brunch because she's never been to a brunch like that before. And she's been brunching since she was 10. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's been brunching for quite some time. If you didn't know, now you know. I mean, the woman has been brunching since brunch was born. You know what I'm saying? I think she's probably started brunch. Actually, now that I think about it, she probably started the brunches. She had the first brunch that ever brunched. You know what I'm saying? Because Aikisha knows the brunches. And so anyway, she's annoyed that Latesha didn't handle things well when she told her her plate was dirty. And then they suddenly shift and talk about Aikisha's kids and how she's had issues with conceptions and IVF, and it made her insecure in her marriage, and she felt embarrassed, and she tried IUI and IVF. But at the end of the day, both of her kids were naturally conceived. So that leads Tamara to open up about her own journey with the fibroids and in this whole relationship and trying to have a kid with Mr. Damon, aka who the streets know is as greedy. Okay. And so anyway, Aikisha is shocked because she's like, wait a minute, you and Mr. Greedy been shagging around, snacking around and downtown for about 16 years, and he ain't put a ring on it yet. What the what? I mean, what gives, Miss Tambra? What's going on? Because 16 years of snacking, he should have been placed a ring upon the finger. Okay. And Aikisha encourages her to get a commitment before Tambra commits to having a child with Mr. Damon, aka Mr. Greedy. Okay. Okay, and so now we get to Marie's house. Lord, this scene right here, this whole situation just takes me out every single time because it's so sad. Miss Marie has lost her grandson's mama, which is her son's baby's mama. Her life was ended in a drive-by of some sort. Okay, so she's just got back from the funeral. We learn and I spoke to her at length about this in Jackson, but she has lupus. We learn about how it affects her. She takes about 12 pills per day. She needs a handicap accessible home. And what is so interesting about this scene to me is that it really humanizes Marie because she comes across very hardcore at the brunch in her defense of herself and her business against what she perceives as a allegations from Latrice. But this scene right here, it gives us another side of Marie that you don't necessarily see every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think that they do a good job of balancing her character, her personality with these types of scenes. But anyway, Essie stops by, and they recap the funeral, and and how Marie's personal life is just literally in shambles. And for whatever reason, okay, she has promised her habitual serial cheating husband, ex-husband or whatever, I don't know what they are at this point, but a Rolex, okay? I guess she promised him this Rolex when they was on good terms. Now this man been cheating allegedly, uh, lying allegedly, and doing her wrong allegedly for all this time. And for whatever reason, Miss Marie, I got to ask you about this one. You feel obligated that you need to give this man the Rolex. Why? Why? Please, how? Why? Why is that? Why would you spend your $4,000 to $10,000 to $30,000 on getting this man a Rolex when he ain't even around to support you as you are going through and through and through? Why would you do that? I don't understand why. That is not a commitment that you need to honor. What about the ways he was supposed to honor you? You know what I'm saying? And thus far this season, we have not even seen hide nor hair of Mr. Okay? So the fact that you feel obligated to give this man a Rolex is completely beyond me. And I definitely think that you should save your money, open up another building, okay? Do something else with it. Purchase a new property, okay? For all the money that you're about to spend on a Rolex, which is not a bad investment, okay? Because the people talk about Rolexes being investment pieces. You could take that money and put it as a down payment on a home or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Rent it out, buy a car, put it on Turo. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste your money on giving this man something that he feels obligated for. For what? For cheating? Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. Anyway, Essie has to pour some life into her. Okay. And what I do like about, it actually kind of bothers me a little bit that people would, I get it to a certain degree why people say this, because I think it was kind of how it was portrayed last season. But the relationship between Essie and Marie is one that I feel like, especially having met both of them in person, is I almost hate that people not hate, but I just don't like that people sort of put their relationship in this sort of like, oh, they must like each other type of category. I do feel like they are sisters in spirit. And I feel like everyone would be so lucky to have someone that they have by their side that's a ride or die, whether that's, a brother, a sister girlfriend, a sister, or a brother, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's in your life that is there for you through thick and thin to talk some sense into you. And I really do feel like Essie does a good job of helping to balance out some of the hardcoreness that we get from Marie at times. And quite frankly, I agree with you, Sheila Mac. I love their friendship. And we should all be so lucky, and we should all strive to have that level of friendship with at least one other person, in this lifetime, because we need that, especially as you get older and you realize how valuable those relationships are. And someone who genuinely just wants to see good for you. We all need that. So to me, I love their relationship. I absolutely do. And if you ever get the opportunity to meet Miss Essie in person, she is a sweet, gentle person. And I can definitely tell you from my own experience, she has a very quiet presence, but it is a peaceful one. And I admired that. So I have to say that. Um, and you know what? She may. She may at times co-sign the BS, but but we all could use that ride or die. But I think she also told her at the end of the brunch, girl, I told you not to come up in here and ruin these people brunch. And here you go. Okay. Um, so that's a blessing. It really is a blessing. I gotta say that. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Kimmy Nicole. I appreciate that. Okay, so then now we get another balancing scene with Latrice, because Latrice, is definitely the fun-loving, life of the party, you know what I'm saying? But she also kind of bout it girl, right? So we get this scene with her mom, and she really goes to her mom for advice. And we learn a lot about Latrice's background. And we got a lot of it last season as well, with like losing two, I think brothers. And just kind of, first of all, having a father that wasn't there. Okay. And then having the men in her life, as in her brothers, having to step up, and then losing a lot of them to the street life, has now led her to the point where she is afraid of even the idea of having a baby, because she, in her mind, subconsciously thinks that perhaps Cliff, her husband, is going to turn out like her dad, who left her mom and end up with having a baby in that same situation. But her mom, interestingly enough, tells her that she feels like Latrice married someone exactly like her father, who wants her to have a baby to slow her down so that, he can maintain control over her. I personally did not get that sense when I was with them in person, but I can definitely understand why her mom would feel that way, given what her mom has gone through. And I do think that at some point, Latrice may want to talk to someone professionally about this fear that she has, because I did get the general sense that there is nothing that Latrice could do that would make that man leave her, based upon my assessment of their relationship. And this is, again, just spending a day with them. But again, that's only me spending the day with them. Whatever it is that she needs, I think she needs to get some type of I'm not going to say, girl, you need therapy, but I am going to say, I think it would be nice so that she could have someone to talk through those feelings with, and then maybe perhaps have Cliff join in on those sessions later. And again, I am not an expert, but I do think that that could potentially help her in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I do see that. Because as busy as they are, and as much as they are doing together, I do think that even though he has kids, that for everything that they're doing, that they could possibly want to leave a lot of the things that they're doing to not only his kids that he has from previously, but their own child that they have together as well, if they so choose to go down that road, if that is for them. That's what I'm gonna say, right? Absolutely. That's the feeling I got when I was there, that they are both a safe space for each other. But like with this week, I didn't know that she had these types of feelings. So again, it's like pieces of the onion, slowly unraveling with each of the characters. And the show is doing a great job of slowly peeling these layers back, which is what I liked about this episode. So um yeah, I think it's a lot to go through. It definitely feels a lot to go through, you know? Um and hopefully we'll see more about that, because she did touch on that, I think, in the season premiere, Joan. All right. Okay, so then we get to the piece de resistance, okay? The Ponderosa, the meet and greet at the restaurant for Aikisha and Latesha. And unless my DVR missed it, they didn't even get through the introductions. They didn't even get through the greetings before they got right into it. Okay. As soon as Aikisha sits down, Latesha reveals that Aikisha's energy was off from the jump. Okay. And they get to shading each other right out the gate. Latesha feels like she had higher expectations of Aikisha, the grandmaster, okay, of all things, and reveals that she is not the girl who Latesha had a phone conversation with. Now, For those of you guys who missed the interview with Latesha, you will learn that Latesha was introduced to Aikisha via a phone call. Now, what I need to know the next time I talk to one of these young ladies is what was discussed on the phone call, okay, that led Latesha to believe that Miss Aikisha was going to be different than the person that showed up at brunch, okay? Because Aikisha reveals, like, well, girl, I'm the same person. I just have high expectations, and your brunch did not meet them. So Latesha says that she handpicked those ladies for brunch. Aikisha in her confessional says, well, she should have chose a different hand, okay? Aikisha is still annoyed that her waffles and her bacon was burnt. Latesha feels like nobody else had burnt waffles and burnt bacon, but maybe everybody else likes their waffles and their bacon a little extra crispy, because I know I do. Raise your hand if you do. I like my waffles to be like, dang, I don't want it to be blackened, okay? But I want my waffle to be crisp. So when I pour that syrup on it, the waffle does not lose the crispiness. And please, for the love of all things Sunday morning, please make my bacon crispy, okay? I do not want my bacon wet, soggy, limp, okay? I want my bacon crisp. When I crack into that bacon, I want it to sound like I'm biting into a potato chip or a cracker, okay? That's how my bacon should be. So maybe Miss Aikisha, because, I feel like she was coming from up in the New Jersey area. I feel like maybe she is used to maybe just a little bit of the moist bacon, the limp bacon, the wet bacon. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what she was looking for. A little less well done, but please give me my bacon crispy. Okay? That's how I likes it. Meanwhile, Aikisha is annoyed that Latesha had an attitude when she approached her about her dirty plate. Okay? Latesha feels like, well, girl, it's because you came with some negative energy, all right? And Latesha in her confessional says, you already trying to steal my Ferris Street idea, so let's just execute and move. This is why I need to go back and understand what happened in that initial conversation that was not filmed, because when Latesha said, you trying to steal my idea for Ferris Street, I said, ooh, okay, now this is a little bit deeper here. Let's go back into whatever conversation y'all had on the telephone. That's why I need to find out what was said that day, okay? So anyway, ultimately, Aikisha apologizes for seemingly coming in with bad energy, and they just they find a way to agree to disagree, and they can just get their focus on Ferris Street, okay? Latesha says, well, I don't know if Aikisha is a woman of empowerment or a woman who needs to be in power, but I hope she don't scare off any potential investors coming our way for this Ferris Street project. But as soon as they decide to start talking about Ferris Street, they get to talking about Tambra and Damon. So I was like, how did we get here? So Aikisha has revealed that she had went to go talk to Tambra, and they get to talking about her and Damon. So Latesha has questions about Damon. Well, is his name Greedy? Aikisha's like, yeah, do you know him? Latesha says, yeah, I met him through my friend. Aikisha says, a girl or a guy? Because that makes a difference. Latesha says, a girl. Mm-hmm. So Aikisha says, I mean, well, does she have something bad to say about Greedy? And Latesha's like, well, I mean, I didn't say that, but I didn't say it, but I'm saying it. I'm not saying it. I don't know. Oh, that good old Greedy. So anyway, in her confessional, Aikisha says, listen, Latesha was doing all this talking about Greedy and his other girlfriend. I'm like, when did she say that? She must have said it and we ain't see it. Or either that Aikisha realized that there was some implication that Mr. Greedy might have had another girlfriend on the side, allegedly, okay? But Aikisha don't believe in other women coming in to break up happy households. I'm wondering at what point Miss Aikisha is going to run back and tell Tambra that Latesha knows about some other woman that is allegedly dating Mr. Greedy based on this non-conversation about Mr. Greedy, okay? I can't wait to see that. Hopefully it happens next episode. Meanwhile, Latesha then again redirects the energy back to Ferris Street and how they can get the foot traffic back into Ferris Street. And overall, they feel like this Ponderosa, while shady, it was productive. Okay. Now, this was a good episode. This was a real good episode. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out how he got the name Greedy as well. Okay. I'm trying to find out too. Like, is it greedy because you want all the women? Is that it? Somebody let us know down in the chatterization. Okay. Did you say tambourine? I got to go. Listen, thank you guys for tapping in and tuning in to this review of the Belle Collective. And y'all know, lately these days, I've been feeling like, because I love y'all so much, we got to end our show the way that we started it. And we're going to dance our way on out of here. So without further ado, y'all, that's the end of the recap, and I'll catch you in the next video.